I still remember having the conversation with my dad, who was a longtime real estate agent and broker. He had just gone through the downturn of 08, 09, had merged his brokerage with another brokerage, and ultimately I didn't know what he would say. When I was talking to him about leaving teaching and becoming a real estate agent, his answer was 100% on target, and I'll share that with you next. But in this video, I'm going to tell you from college graduation, getting into corrections, being in private community corrections, and all of those experiences that led me to managing a halfway house and running a halfway house, and then getting into teaching, trying to save the world before it went to hell for those kiddos. And then finally realizing that I needed to find a career where I was able to serve and help people, but also make the amount of money that I needed to support my family. That's when I found real estate. That's when I went all in, and it absolutely has been the most important decision in my life. But stay tuned, I'll tell you what my dad said. What's up, guys? I'm Jeremy Kane with eXp Realty and the Real Estate Agent Playbook. Super excited for this one. It's a little bit of an introspection, a little bit of my journey that I want to share with you. A lot of people think that I just got right into real estate, started crushing it, became a top producer. That's not the case at all. There was about 8 to 10 years there, 7 years, I guess, in between college and getting into real estate. So we're going to talk a little bit about that, why every step of my journey was so important. I usually on this channel talk all about growing your business organically. I talk a little bit about my record-breaking organization at the Wolfpack, and I talk a lot about how to help you get a win every single day in the game of real estate. So if you like what you hear in this video, please throw me a comment. Would love to start to engage with you. If you're listening on the podcast, please share this with your favorite real estate agent. And if you really like what you hear, hit that subscribe button, hit the bell, and you'll be notified when I release 2 videos a week. All right, let's kind of get down to business here. So first and foremost, 2006, just graduated from Fort Collins, Colorado State University, and I was ready to take the world by storm. I was just thinking the other day, $13.10 an hour. I was like ready to go. I just paid for the degree. I was ready. Absolutely crazy now that that's, what people, minimum wage is here in Denver. So certainly a long time has passed since then, but got into business. I had one interview with a sales job. I didn't want to be in sales. Oddly enough, here I am. And then I got into corrections. My degree was in psychology, so I was like, hey, I'm using my degree, helping these felons recover kind of from their crime and a lot of addiction and stuff like that. Truth is, that was an amazing experience. I had a caseload of over 1,000 offenders, and we worked through that. We made sure they were doing what they needed to do. I actually did drug tests as well, so that's not necessarily the part of the monitoring drug tests was not my favorite part of that career. But I changed a lot of lives. I helped a lot of people. To this day, I'm still not scared to go to the grocery store or anything around where I used to serve, because I was just a real person. I was helpful. I did what I could. Truth is, the success rate for a case manager isn't very great because when you were dealing with, and during that time, it was a lot of meth addiction. It was really hard, right? There was a lot of failure. You'd have someone absolutely killing it, make one bad decision, and kind of throw it all away. So that was really hard for me. I decided at some point to get into teaching. My sister-in-law ran a charter school for, helped at-risk learning disabled kiddos. That was super fulfilling. I do actually have a video of helping one of my past students purchase their first home not too long ago. So that was really rewarding for me over on my production channel. But as I kind of started getting into this, it was, again, it was tough kiddos, had, been removed from the public school system or made the choice to get out before they were removed. And as we kind of continued down that path, so many good lessons, so many people skills, so many negotiation skills were, had in both of these careers. But ultimately that success rate was really hard for me, right? I had kids end up in jail. I had kids make bad decisions and, do some other things. I had kids graduate and move on and, get themselves out of the maybe tougher situations that they were in. But ultimately it was time for me to start a family, right? And I was like, okay, 29 years old, where am I going? What do I want to do? My dad was in real estate, and I remember picking up the phone. I remember right where I was when I was telling him, And I just said, hey, I'm thinking about getting into real estate. It had just been a really rough time in real estate, right? The market had crashed, the 08-09 issues with the loans and all the things, subprime loans and everything that was going on there. And it was just had gone through a tough time. It was kind of on the rebound on that end of it. But as we kind of progressed, we moved through the conversation, and he said to me, Jeremy, I think you'll be great at it. You haven't pissed anybody off too much to my knowledge in your sphere. That'll absolutely help you grow. But he was like, I think you'll absolutely crush it. Let's go. And so that was an important conversation in my career because I didn't know what he would say, because I had seen him through the toughest times. Like, why the heck would you get into this? Did you see what I just went in through and all those things? But in that moment, he was encouraging, and that was the first hurdle, right? Since I've had a couple other conversations. If you don't know, my dad became my broker after that, and I left his company about 3.5 years ago for the Wolfpack at EXP. In that conversation, he absolutely was like, absolutely, let's make it happen. In that conversation, he said, you've worked harder in your business than I ever did, because he went in straight into managing, other agents, where I was continuing through the production. So again, the stamp of approval from dad was always good, but that transition into real estate was absolutely huge. And I'll never forget, it was the end of May, a year after I had, taught my last class. Schools get out here in May in Colorado. And I remember to the day, I closed a deal where my clients had sold one house and they decided to purchase another one. And I literally made more money in that day than I did an entire teaching year of salary. Not to say that, it was absolutely crazy, but that was kind of the aha moment where I was like, okay, I'm helping these people. I'm helping them get out of their first home. I'm helping them upgrade. I'm helping them, grow their wealth through real estate and find the home that suits their life because the previous home no longer did. And in that moment, I was like, okay, this is why I did what I did. So 10 months later, after I got my license, because I did get my license in July, I was able to do that. And the other thing that I've been able to do in my real estate career is really connect as many people as possible. When I was in the halfway house helping the, offenders, I would connect them to resources, whether that be for housing or food or job search or, whatever they needed. I would help connect them, counseling, all of those things. I would connect them to those people, right? And in the school, it was the same way, right? Our school didn't have a ton of money, so it was always looking for resources and fundraisers and opportunities to be in the community and give back and all of those things. And we're just connecting, right? As a real estate agent, a lot of people are like, oh, I need my leads given to me. I need this, I need that. The truth is, I just dove right into connecting people like I had done in my 2 previous careers. And that has served me, right? That has helped me sell 500 houses in the 11 plus years I've been licensed, and ultimately given me an amazing life, right? And from that day where I made more money in one day than I did an entire year teaching, first of all, some of that hurt my soul, right? Because teachers out there are absolutely, underpaid, and we don't need to go into that. It's just, I don't think my soapbox will help. But also with that said, I have the Mile High Champions program where I give, a portion of my commission rebated back towards closing costs for those people that teach and, first responders and military and things like that. So as we kind of peel this back, it's just building systems and connecting people to resources. And since that's what I'm good at, real estate was no different. So I kind of dove into that, here to serve, here to do this. And while I was teaching, I got into high school basketball coaching, and I was coaching for, that time, and then transitioning over to the real estate side, I was able to continue that because of the, flexibility in hours and kind of that piece. So that was another important piece to me. Well, once I added the kids to the mix and all of that, I was no longer able to, coach and do those things, but I loved it, right? The 11 years that I served as a basketball coach, won a state championship in one of the last years. And I was able to connect with a lot of players and do the things. I've also helped some of my players buy real estate, some of their parents and all of that. So that's great, but I really missed the coaching piece when I stepped away. And so now I'm able to help agents, hence the name Real Estate Agent Playbook, because that's important to me too, to coach agents up. And while I'm still in the same lane of production and still doing it, it comes naturally to me. It's not a 40-hour plus week of job like the high school basketball coach. But I'm still able to work with agents, as players, one-on-one, growing teams, doing all the things to get out there and absolutely connect with more people and have more impact, right? My goal all along in production was to help people build wealth through real estate. So if I'm able to help my circle do that, then I'm able to help the agents that I coach's circle do that. And then I'm also able to help agents grow their wealth through real estate, through my brokerage and through some other opportunities that we talk about. I'm able to help a exponentially larger number of people, and I'm able to have impact on people's wealth journeys using, the industry of real estate, whether that's for agents through the EXP revenue share model, equity ownership plan, production, but also when they do produce, they're helping other people build that wealth. And so setting systems and processes and doing all those things is absolutely the passion of mine. So while it's a little bit different scenario, people probably would rather have a teacher than a real estate agent at the end of the day for the greatest good. Ultimately, my goal is to serve. My goal is to serve you as agents within my community and beyond, to help you grow your business and win every single day of the game of real estate. And that's absolutely where the core of this all comes from, right? The corrections, the coaching background there, the connections that I made, the teaching, the helping our youth kind of come into their own and find their stride, and now helping some of those youth that were there who are now, did get out of the tough situations and are able to purchase homes, and everybody else that I can impact through this career. So grateful. Wouldn't do it any other way, but it absolutely wasn't by accident that I came along this path. My dad had the experience and backed me 100% in that decision. To this day, I make him very proud, even though I did leave his brokerage. And it's just been a really good run for me. So just wanted to share a little bit of my background and what, I talked a little bit about picking coaches and things like that, and being qualified to serve on the previous video. But here we are today talking about this, really moving forward and absolutely crushing it within the real estate game. So I hope that this resonated. If you're looking to get into real estate, please reach out. I would be happy to chat with you and see how I can guide you along the way and be a part of that. If you are in real estate and you're having trouble with that transition, would also love to chat with you. Book a Realtor game plan call. If you're interested in learning more about our record-breaking group at the Wolfpack at EXP and all of the social media training and all of the training that we provide, you can definitely do that at the reagentwolfpack.com. But for now, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what career you were in before you chose real estate, and let's get rolling. Go get a win today. Bye-bye.